You ever cheat on Ari?
Just for now.
You cheated on me at least 4 times.
No, let me tell you.
Four?
At least. I looked at it and it said, I love you, I miss you. And I was so brokenhearted that and this is embarrassing for me to admit this, that I stayed with you after this, but I didn't want to raise a baby alone.
I mean, listen, it was good to see her obviously admit reasons why she stayed, you know what I mean? Obviously, this is something that people have called her out for. And one of the reasons why a lot of people have not been on Ari's side, you know what I mean? And have ignored, obviously, Biniyam's blatant poor behavior in the relationship. His lack of effort and his infidelity. In fact, obviously, Ari says here it's 4 times. Benny does not deny the 4 times. Let's just make that abundantly clear, because there seems to be a double standard going on right now when people are judging people for their wrongs. It seems to me as if now it's kind of weird, because nowadays becoming a thing where if the woman does certain things, women are getting more heavily attacked than the men are, which is quite interesting. But nonetheless, though, we will continue.
Ari was pregnant with your son. Did you cheat on her?
I would say yes.
At least he admitted it, though. I mean, it's a first step into one direction, shall I say?
I knew you guys wouldn't save the same energy that you saved for Jasmine. I knew you wouldn't save it for someone else. Jasmine's a cheater, but you go hard for him.
Because that
I found Rob's response rather fascinating. I don't know how can you say you don't know? The guy just admitted cheating. Ari accused him of cheating 4 times, which he didn't deny. Then he admits that, yes, I did cheat when she was pregnant. And he's saying, I don't know. And then points Jasmine saying, but I can see that she has because she's pregnant. So let me get this straight. If Jasmine wasn't pregnant, then you wouldn't have assumed that she cheated then. You would have been more lenient on her. Because that's just BS. Absolute BS. He would have gone in on Jasmine just as much as he went in with her, regardless whether she was pregnant or not, if you ask me personally. I mean, listen, Ari for me personally throughout the season was the one that was definitely speaking the most sense compared to anybody else. But nobody wanted to hear it. She even made a point earlier on about how in the season when she said, oh, how comes when something happened with Julian and Brandon, you guys are like this and that, but now I'm speaking about Biniyam and this is now you guys saying this and that. Crazy work.
I can literally look over there and see it.
Don't waste your time.
I don't know. I can feel a lot more confident about what's happening over here.
I can feel a lot more confident about what's going over here just because Jasmine's pregnant. Biniyam just literally admitted to cheating. It came out of his own mouth. How are you not feeling confident about that? That's crazy work. Hypocrite.
I want to be a good father.
Yeah, but you know what's worse than seeing us fight is when he doesn't see you. So you need to come around more. You need to spend time with him. You need to make him the priority. Because guess what? In 20 years from now, you're not going to remember any...
To be fair with you, she makes very, very good points. At the end of the day, you know, you need to start coming around and actually seeing your child. You know, you had a child for a reason, and so why are you not here? You're out here doing all these other things rather than, you know, being a father.
woman's name that you dated for a few days, or you are going to remember, you're going to remember that you had a son, and your son is going to remember. And whatever time you put in with him is the time he's going to give back to you in your life.
Girl was spitting hard, man. Listen, if anybody wants to disagree with what she's saying, then I don't know what's wrong with you personally. You know, at the end of the day, Biniyam can spend as much time as he wants going out there gallivanting with women after women, the same type of women that are actually trying to, you know, take him down, which is something that we're going to talk about later on in the video anyway, rather than actually dedicating his time to spending time with his child. If he doesn't want to be Ari, that is fine, but your child, come on now. And let's not forget, Biniyam has already lost one child anyway. There's a child that he already had with another American woman that he's never going to see again, unless that child tracks him down when that child turns 18. But as for right now, he's not going to see that child ever again. And he's now got a second chance with another child. Do better. Do right. Come on.
Vinny, did somebody try to extort you?
Yeah.
Weren't true to ruin his reputation if they didn't get what they wanted.
Almost every single woman that Vinny's been involved with didn't have good intentions for Vinny. They wanted something from him. He's got a lot of followers on social media.
So this guy's out here gallivanting with women who are trying to take him down rather than actually focus on the things that he should prioritize more. This guy.
He's been on TV. They assumed, oh, maybe he has money, maybe he has something.
Very trusting of people. And so what happens is, you know, for a while, I think Ari was trying to protect him, but...
I mean, to be honest with you, Ari doesn't need to try and protect this man. She really doesn't need to. She does, because he keeps calling her. Each time something doesn't make sense or he's whatever, he has to call and ask her for advice or ask for help. He can't even leave her alone. He can't even let her move on in peace.
Like, Vinny come to my country and flip people around like that. Vinny never going to flip nobody in his life no more.
I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of truth being said there, because there's a lot of places you go to. You pick up someone's wife, my friend, it's a problem. It is a problem. We'll be lucky to see you breathing ever again. Nowhere to keep your hands. Now, Biniyam's excuse was, well, obviously, my line of work, obviously, this is what I do. Yeah, but that's at work. You wasn't at work when you was picking up all the ladies at the resort. That wasn't work. You know, that wasn't your job. I mean, listen, some men just don't know boundaries because they're too confident in themselves. And Biniyam is one of those people that's just too confident in himself because he's been able to get away with, obviously, you know, women for however long. So that's why he can keep doing it, you know, because he's never had any of those consequences. And even when he's had the slightest of consequences, Ari and her mother's been there to protect him in this situation. Obviously, the situation that Florin is talking about, that's a whole different one. So if I was him, I'd start listening rather than making excuses of why you did it. Sometimes in life, people don't care about the reasons why you did what you did. People care about what they're going to do to you because you did it, or how they're going to teach you a lesson for doing that madness in the first place, because your behavior would be considered inconsiderate. It is crazy because, generally speaking, there's like an unspoken code between men and between women, you know, of the things that you're not supposed to do to one said person's partner. Literally common sense, they call it, to be honest with you. Universal common sense. But some people are so naive because of the way they were raised or the people they were around that they think it's okay to continue doing a complete madness. But nonetheless, though, it's good to see Biniyam finally actually admitting some of his wrongs. It'd be good if he admit all of them personally, but I hope this is more than enough that Ari needs for her to be able to get that closure that she wanted. You know what I mean? And I hope moving forward that Ari is able to put herself in a position where she can go on dates, but she did admit she's been doing herself, and actually be able to connect with someone else new, because I feel like as long as Benny's still in her life, asking her questions, nagging her for this and that, asking her to manage him on this and that, it's always going to be a bit of a strain on herself. You know what I mean? A bit of a pullback. Well, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and we'll talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.